Let me tell you something, folks. Welcome to another wild ride on Revenge with Father, where we dive into those gut-wrenching stories of betrayal, comeback, and sweet, sweet justice. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the next one. All right, buckle up because this tale starts with a punch to the soul. 3 days after burying my wife of 32 years, her accountant calls me out of the blue. Don't trust your nephew. You're in danger. Man, I thought grief was the worst of it, but oh boy was I wrong. But nothing prepared me for the silence that filled Margaret Holloway's office that gray November afternoon when I saw who was standing behind her desk. I slumped into my old leather recliner in our Denver living room, staring at the faded photo of Sarah on the mantel. It was one from our honeymoon in the Rockies, her laugh frozen in time, eyes sparkling like she'd just heard the world's dumbest joke. Now, the house felt like a tomb. No more of her humming in the kitchen while whipping up those killer blueberry pancakes on Sunday mornings. No more arguing over who got the remote for Monday Night Football. Just me, a half-empty bottle of Jack Daniels, and a mountain of sympathy cards I couldn't bring myself to open. The funeral had been a blur. Friends from the construction site where I'd busted my back for decades, neighbors from the block, even some of Sarah's old co-workers from the hospital. Everyone's saying the same crap. She's in a better place, or time heals all wounds. Yeah, right? Tell that to the ache in my chest that felt like a semi-truck parked on it. Our son, Jake, had flown in from Seattle, looking wrecked, but holding it together for me. "Dad, you gotta eat something," he'd said, shoving a plate of cold pizza my way. But food tasted like sawdust. Then the phone rang. I almost ignored it. Probably another well-wisher. But the caller ID said Holloway Accounting. Margaret Holloway, Sarah's accountant for years. Handled our taxes, investments, all that boring adult stuff. Sarah was way better at than me. "Mr. Thompson, this is Margaret. We need to talk. Now, it's about Sarah's will and your nephew, Kyle." Her voice was shaky, not her usual no-nonsense tone. "Don't trust him. You're in danger." "Danger? From Kyle? The kid I'd practically raised after his folks died in that car wreck back in '98? No way. He'd been like a second son. Helped out on my job sites during summers, even crashed on our couch through college." But her words hit like a sledgehammer. What the hell was going on? I grabbed my keys, heart pounding. Little did I know, this call was about to rip my world apart even more. Traffic on I-25 was a nightmare. As usual, folks honking like their lives depended on it. Semis barreling past like they owned the road. I gripped the wheel of my beat-up Ford F-150, knuckles white, mind racing faster than the speed limit. Sarah's voice echoed in my head from our last fight. "Bill, you work too hard. Retire already, let's travel." But cancer doesn't care about plans. 6 months from diagnosis to gone. Poof. And now, this cryptic warning about Kyle? I blasted some classic rock on the radio. Springsteen's Born to Run, trying to drown out the doubts. Kyle had been acting weird at the funeral, sure. Kept checking his phone, avoiding eye contact. "Uncle Bill, you holding up?" he'd asked, slapping my back a bit too hard. "Yep, bro, tough times." "But danger? Come on." He'd borrowed money a few times. Startup dreams, he called them. Sarah always said yes. Family helps family. Me? I was the skeptic, but she softened me up. Pulling into the parking garage downtown, I spotted Margaret's office building. Sleek glass tower, the kind where suits sip lattes and pretend to change the world. My boots echoed on the concrete as I headed up. Elevator dinged. Doors opened to the 12th floor. Receptionist gave me a pity smile. "Mr. Thompson? She's expecting you." I nodded, stomach twisting. What if this was all a mistake? But as I pushed open her door, the air went dead silent. And there he was, Kyle, standing behind her desk like he belonged there. What the actual hell? Every muscle in my body locked up. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. Kyle's smirk faltered for a split second. Then he played it cool. "Uncle Bill, what are you doing here?" His voice was too casual, like we'd bumped into each other at a Broncos game. Margaret sat there, pale as a ghost, papers scattered like she'd been caught in a tornado. "Sit down, Mr. Thompson," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "We have a problem." I dropped into the chair, legs like jelly. Kyle leaned against the file cabinet, arms crossed. "Dude, This is about Aunt Sarah's accounts? I was just helping Margaret sort some stuff. Helping? Bull. Margaret cleared her throat. 3 days ago, after the funeral, I reviewed Sarah's final statements. There's discrepancies. Large transfers to an offshore account. Linked to Kyle. My head spun. No way. Kyle, tell her it's a mix-up. He shrugged. Uncle, it's not what you think. Aunt Sarah wanted to invest in my business. She trusted me. But Margaret slid a folder across. Look, forged signatures. Emails I never sent. He's been siphoning funds for months, while she was sick. Anger bubbled up, hot and fierce. Sarah, you fighting chemo. And this punk stealing from her? You gotta be kidding me, Kyle. For real. He met my eyes, cold as ice. Business is business, old man. She was dying anyway. The room blurred. Betrayal hit like a gut punch. But why call me here with him present? That's when I noticed Margaret's hands trembling. Was she in on it? Or scared? I had to think fast before this blew up in my face. I bolted from that office like the building was on fire, heart slamming against my ribs. Kyle's words echoed. She was dying anyway. That little weasel, after everything we'd done for him. Rain pelted my truck as I peeled out, tires screeching on the wet Denver streets. I needed space to think, but my phone buzzed nonstop. Kyle, Uncle, let's talk. Don't do anything stupid. Yeah, right? Back home, I paced the kitchen, chugging black coffee to steady my nerves. Sarah's recipe book sat open on the counter. Her famous chili, the one she'd make for Super Bowl parties. God, I missed her. But now doubt crept in. Had she known? No, she adored Kyle. He's family, Bill, she'd say. Inner thoughts raced. Confront him? Call the cops? What if he had more tricks up his sleeve? Jake called from the airport. Dad, flight's delayed. You okay? I hesitated. Son, something's up with Kyle. Stay put. His voice sharpened. What do you mean? Spill it. I filled him in, voice cracking. That son of a, I'm coming back. No, I thought. Keep him safe. This was my fight. Digging through Sarah's desk, I found old bank statements. Transfers started small, then ballooned. Hundreds of thousands. Our retirement nest egg, gone. Rage boiled. Revenge? Oh, it was brewing. But smart, not sloppy. I grabbed my keys again. Time to visit an old buddy from the site. A lawyer who owed me a favor. Little did I know, Kyle was one step ahead, watching my every move. Tom's office smelled like stale coffee and victory. Plaques on the wall from big construction lawsuits he'd won for guys like me. He leaned back in his creaky chair, eyeing the papers I brought. Bill, this is messy. Forgery, embezzlement. Could be felony stuff. But Kyle's slick. He's got a tech startup, right? Probably covered his tracks. I slammed my fist on the desk. Tom, he stole from Sarah while she was dying. I want him buried, legally. Tom nodded, stroking his beard. All right, bro. We'll file for an audit, freeze assets. But watch your back. Kids like him play dirty. Play dirty? Flashback to Kyle at 16, fixing my truck. Uncle, I got this. Now this. As I left, my phone pinged, an anonymous text. Back off, or Jake pays. My blood ran cold. Jake? How'd he know? I called my son immediately. Dad? What's wrong? Nothing, just checking in. Lie. Big lie. Fear gripped me. First Sarah, now threats to my boy? No way was I letting this slide. Driving home, paranoia set in. Was that car tailing me? I took a detour through Lodo, blending with happy hour crowds. Home safe, I barricaded the door, mind plotting. Motivational fire ignited. Sarah deserved justice. I'd outsmart him. But as night fell, a knock echoed. Who the hell was at my door this late? I peeked through the peephole. Margaret, looking like she'd seen a ghost, rain-soaked coat dripping. Mr. Thompson, please. Let me in. Hesitant, I cracked the door. What are you doing here? And how do you know where I live? She pushed past, eyes darting. Kyle forced me to call you to the office. He's blackmailing me. Some old tax error I made years ago. But I couldn't let him ruin you. Her voice broke. Sarah was my friend too. I poured her coffee, hands shaking. Spill everything, lady. No holding back. Turns out, Kyle had hacked her system months ago. Fake docs to drain Sarah's life insurance. Our savings, all funneled to his startup that's really a scam app preying on seniors. He's dangerous, Bill. Hired goons to watch you. Goons? This wasn't some movie. This was my life. Inner turmoil hit. Trust her? Or was this a trap? Why help now? I demanded. She sighed. Guilt. And Sarah's last words to me. Protect Bill if I'm gone. Emotion welled up. Tears I hadn't shed since the funeral. All right, we're in this together. But as she left, I spotted a shadow across the street. Someone watching. Time to go on the offensive before they struck first. Next morning, I hit up my old crew from the construction yard. Big Mike, the foreman with arms like tree trunks, met me at our favorite diner. Greasy spoons and bottomless coffee. Bill, you look like hell. What's up? I laid it out over eggs and bacon. Kyle screwing me over. Need backup. Eyes on him. Mike chuckled darkly. That punk? Remember when he helped on site and nearly dropped a beam? Yeah, I got you, bro. He called in favors. Guys with trucks, tech-savvy nephews. Ironic. Plan. Tail Kyle. Dig dirt without breaking laws. Back home, Jake arrived unannounced. Dad, I couldn't stay away. Hug was tight, emotional. Son, it's risky. He grinned. Family sticks together. Let's nail him. Father-son bond reignited. Motivational high. We poured over docs, spotting patterns. Kyle's business meetings and shady Denver spots. But tension built. A call from unknown number. Stop digging, or the house burns. Fear spiked, but anger won. Bring it, I muttered. Sarcastic thought. Thank for the heads up, idiot. We set a trap. Fake meeting with Margaret. Would Kyle bite? As dusk fell, my phone rang again. Game on. We staged it in a neutral spot. A quiet coffee shop in Boulder, far from prying eyes. Margaret showed, nervous as hell. This better work, she whispered. Jake hid in the back booth, phone recording. I sat front and center, pretending to review new evidence. Clock ticked. Minutes felt like hours. Micro tension. Every sip of coffee, every glance at the door. Then, in walked Kyle, cocky as ever, with a burly dude trailing him. Uncle Bill, fancy seeing you here. His smile was venom. Heard you wanted to chat. I played dumb. Yeah, about clearing this up. See, he did, eyes scanning. Look, man, it's a misunderstanding. Sign this waiver, and we're good. Waiver? To drop claims? No chance. Why the rush, nephew? Burly guy shifted, hand in pocket. Gun? Heart raced. Margaret jumped in. Kyle, the feds are on to you. Bluff, but it worked, his face paled. You bluffing? Try me, I said. He bolted, Burly following. Jake got all on tape. Victory rush, but short-lived. As we left, tires screeched. Someone rammed my truck. Close call. Who was driving? This was escalating fast. Swerving through Boulder traffic, I floored it. Jake yelling, Dad, watch out. The black SUV clipped my bumper again, forcing me onto the shoulder. Hold on, I shouted, veering into a side street. They followed, horns blaring from pissed-off drivers. Adrenaline pumped. Fear mixed with fury. Who are these clowns? Jake asked, dialing 911. Kyle's hired muscle, gotta be. We lost them in a residential maze, pulling into a driveway to hide. Breathing heavy, I checked mirrors. Clear for now. Back at a motel, couldn't risk home. We regrouped. Tape showed Kyle's panic. Gold for the lawyer. But emotional low hit. Son, this is too dangerous. Go back to Seattle. Jake shook his head. No way, Dad. We're ending this. Motivational spark. His determination mirrored Sarah's fight. All right, together. Tom called. Got the tape? Good. Filing charges tomorrow. Relief, but doubt lingered. What if Kyle fled? Inner decision. Track him first. We hacked public records, legally, via PI friend. His startup office in downtown Denver. Time for a surprise visit. But what waited there would shatter everything. Sneaking into Kyle's sleek co-working space after hours felt like a bad spy flick. Me in a hoodie, Jake with a flashlight app. Dad, this is nuts, he whispered. Show in and out. We picked the lock, thanks construction skills, and slipped inside. Desks cluttered with laptops, whiteboards scrawled with app ideas. But in Kyle's corner, files on Sarah, medical records, forged wills. Jackpot, I muttered. Photos too? Of us, marked with notes. Target, Uncle Bill. Chills ran down my spine. Then voices outside. Hi. We ducked behind desks. Door creaked. Kyle and burly guy. Boss, he knows too much. Kyle snarled. Handle it quietly. No miss. They rummaged, missing us by inches. Tension peaked. One wrong breath. They left, and we grabbed evidence, hearts pounding. Escape clean, but shock. Among papers, a letter from Sarah. Kyle, stop this. I know what you're doing. She knew, and didn't tell me? Betrayal deepened. Not just him, but secrets in my marriage? Emotional whirlwind. Revenge plan evolved. Expose him publicly. But first, confront the truth. Home alone, Jake at motel for safety. I read Sarah's letter under the kitchen light. Tears blurred the words. Kyle, you're like a son, but this theft ends now. Tell Bill, or I will. Dated weeks before her death. Why hide it? Protect me? Or him? Anger flared, then grief. Sarah, why? I whispered to the empty room. Flashbacks. Her weakening smiles. Everything's fine, hon. Lies to shield me. Humor's aside in my mind. Typical Sarah. Always the fixer. Call Margaret. Did you know? Silence, then. She confided in me. Wanted to handle it quietly. More betrayal. Damn it, Watt. Fear it'd break you. Broke me anyway. Decision time. Use this in court? Hell yes. Motivational high. For Sarah, no mercy. Plotted with Tom. Press conference. Media blitz. Kyle scam exposed. But as I hung up, window shattered. Glass everywhere. Someone threw a brick. Last warning. Fear turned to resolve. Game over, nephew. We set it up at Tom's firm. Reporters from local stations, hungry for scandal. I stood at the podium, suit feeling foreign after years in work boots. Folks, my nephew Kyle embezzled from my dying wife. Here's proof. Flash docs, tape snippets. Cameras flashed, questions flew. Mr. Thompson motives? Greed, pure and simple. Jake beside me. He's a con man. Emotional peak. Voice steady, but inside, triumph brewing. Kyle showed, barged in, yelling. Lies. Uncle senile. Chaos. Cops hauled him out. You can't prove squat, he spat. Oh, but we could. Arrest on spot. Forgery charges. Revenge sweet, but hollow. Media storm. Denver man avenges wife's betrayal. Calls poured in. Support offers. Low. Missing Sarah Moore. But as dust settled, a final envelope arrived. Issue. Inside, more secrets. What now? Tearing it open on my porch, Denver skyline glowing at sunset, my hands shook. Photos. Kyle meeting a woman, familiar face. Wait, Sarah's sister, Aunt Linda? Notes, he wasn't alone. Mind reeled. Linda? The one who skipped the funeral, too busy in Cali? Called her immediately. Bill? What's this? Play dumb. Cut the crap. You in on Kyle's scheme. Silence. Then confession. He blackmailed me. Old debts. Forced help with forgeries. Shockwave. Family web deeper. Why Sarah's money? Jealousy. She got the inheritance from mom. Old grudges. Betrayal tripled. Inner rage. Everyone lying? Planned confrontation. Fly to LA. Jake. Dad. I'm with you. United front. But plane ride tense. What if more twists? Landed. Heart heavy. Knocked on her door. She opened, pale. Bill. Time for truth. Or more lies. Linda's beach house smelled of salt and regret. Ocean views clashing with the storm inside. Come in, she muttered. Jake glared. Start talking, Aunt Linda. Over wine. Hers, not mine. Needed clear head. It spilled. Kyle manipulated her. Promised shares in his empire. I was desperate, Bill. Lost my job. Excuses. You stole from your dying sister. Fury rose. She cried, forgive me. No, cops are next. She begged. Wait, Kyle's planning something big. Escape with the money. Where? Mexico, tomorrow. Jackpot. Called authorities. Tip line. They raided his hideout that night. Arrest made news. Nephew scammer busted. Emotional high. Justice served. But low, family shattered. Hugging Jake. We did it for mom. Nod. Revenge complete? Almost. One more piece waited back home. Back in Denver. Snow falling softly. I sorted Sarah's things. Found a hidden journal. Entries. Bill's strength keeps me going. Can't burden him with Kyle. Love poured from pages. Tears flowed. Real ones. Then last entry. If I go, Bill, know I left a safety net. Check the attic. Rushed up dusty box. Inside, undeclared account, untouched by Kyle. Enough for retirement. Her final gift. Triumph. She outsmarted him too. Called Jake. Mom had our back. Laughter through tears. Life-changing. Quit job. Traveled as she wanted. Motivational close. Betrayal hurts, but resilience wins. But wait, the powerful twist. That anonymous envelope, postmarked from Sarah's hospital. She sent it. Knew everything, set the dominoes. Her revenge from beyond. Mind blown. Sarah, you legend. Hey, if this story hit you hard, smash that like button and subscribe to Revenge with Father for more tales of comeback kings. Comment below. Ever been betrayed by family?